ancient Greece, the legendary king Theseus traveled in his legendary ship of Theseus. The ship was preserved at the port for hundreds of years after Theseus himself was long gone. As the time passed, the ship decayed and corroded. Restoration was eventually needed. Plank by plank, the ship of Theseus was changed. Questions arose as to whether it could still be called the ship of the legendary king who founded the city of Athens, or something else now. By which plank did the ship stop being the ship of Theseus and became something else? At what point did it begin to lose its essence? Was it the form, the fact that Theseus traveled in it, the material that it was made up of? What if instead of replacing the old decayed planks with new wooden planks, the old planks were crushed into sawdust and mixed with new wood to reconstruct the ship? Would it then be more ship of Theseus as opposed to adding new wooden planks in it? Laszlo Toth was a geologist who vandalized Michelangelo's Pieta on 21st May of 1972, chanting, "I am Jesus Christ risen from the dead," and gave the statue more than half a dozen blows, which broke Mary's arm and elbow and chipped a chunk of the nose. Numerous techniques were used to restore the statue. It is said that a small piece of marble was extracted from the back of the statue in order to reconstruct the nose. Why the back of the statue? Why not any other good quality marble? Did it affect the essence of the statue? The solution to problems of what something actually is a question of definitions. If we can define adequately and immaculately what ship of Theseus really is, we can answer all of the questions we posed above. If a person commits a crime, let's say at an age of 18, he should then be free today at age of 25, because in 7 years, almost all the cells in our body are replaced with new cells. New cells, new person. Or the person is actually more than the cells he's comprised of. Is ship of Theseus or Pieta or human beings more than the sum of their parts? Whether we believe there exists a true form of things or they're merely present in our minds, all of us believe that space and time exist. 2,500 years ago, Zeno of Elea, a philosopher, had a few questions of his own. Being a student of Parmenides, he wanted to criticize pluralism of any sort. To him, thanks to his teacher, the reality was one and change and motion were merely illusions. In order to prove that, he proposed various thought experiments. Number 1. If a person would like to get out of his bed in the morning and move towards the door, because such is life, he has to reach the halfway point. In order to reach the halfway point, he has to first reach a quarter of that halfway point and so forth. So does the person ever get to the door? Well, in real world, yes. But logically speaking, nope. Well, he could reach the door if we were to assume that space is not continuous, but discrete. That it's not comprised of infinite points and there exists such a scenario where there's no point between the 2 points. Number 2. Imagine 3 rows of marching bands in a street. The first row is stationary, so not exactly marching. Second and third rows are moving in front of the stationary band, but in opposite directions. Zeno claims that from this paradox he can show that half the time is equal to its double. Half the time equals to its double. Hold on. Aristotle was like, Zeno was an idiot. He assumed that bodies moving in front of a stationary body will take the same amount of time as if they were moving in front of other moving bodies. That is BS, case closed, let's have some salad. That said, what if each member of the marching band represents the smallest indivisible unit of space, and when Mr. Band member B right here passes in front of the stationary band member A in an indivisible moment of time, he's also passing in front of 2 Mr. Band member C's in the same indivisible unit of time. And that's exactly what Aristotle said. So, case closed, let's have some salad. Greek salad. I had to explain the joke. But not so fast. By the time one B crosses 2 C's, how many A's does it cross? Half an A? But there is no half an A, because members represent indivisible units of space, be it stationary or moving. Half the time is equal to its double. Zeno 1, Aristotle 0. So, what is the nature of space then? Is it continuous or is it discrete? 2,500 years since Mr. Gangster Zeno formulated these paradoxes, and still don't have undisputed answers to the most basic questions that could arise in our minds. What is the nature of the thing which surrounds us? Einstein's relativity considers space to be continuous. Quantum mechanics has it as discrete.